Hi guys, Angel from Coral Dragon Art Studios here. Today I wanted to make a full video on all the supplies that I use in my drawing / coloring process. Before I actually begin though, I wanted to make it very clear that you do not need fancy supplies to start drawing and getting good at drawing. Honestly, I for the past year have been dealing with Crayola and stuff like that. So it's really not important what type of supplies you have. While the nicer ones are, well, nicer, it's not absolutely necessary. Next up is a sketchbook from Koh-i-Noor. At least I think that's how you pronounce it. At first, I really didn't like this sketchbook at all. Its pages are super thin. You can actually like see through them really well. But after a while, I started doodling on the pages with just my pen. And it's become my favorite drawing pad for night when I'm kind of just drawing for myself. This is, however, where the first iteration of Eric drawings were made and where he really started to become a thought-out character. If you don't know who Eric is, you can check out my other videos. But yeah, so this is really good for like maybe not like super serious art, but just for drawing, sketching away, and just doodling. To show you guys is actually one of my absolute favorites and the one that you guys see in all of my videos and shorts and stuff like that mostly. This is what I do draw in the most. It has nice thick paper that can handle the alcohol markers. I do put a piece of paper in between the pages to provide leaking onto other pages when I'm drawing. But other than that, it handles everything pretty well, and it's really nice to draw on, and it's smooth and it works out. So this is definitely a go-to. This is by Master's Touch. I always go to Hobby Lobby for it, and I usually get it on like really good sales too. So definitely recommend Master's Touch sketchbooks. Moving on to my actual drawing materials. First, my favorite pencil that I currently draw with is made by the company Pentel. I don't know like the exact like lead number or anything like that. I don't really honestly pay attention to that stuff. I just know that this writes really super smooth, and I love using it. It makes really nice sketches, and it came with like a bunch of erasers. You can actually just like pop the oop, that is not what I meant to do. You can actually just kind of like pop the eraser out like that, and replace it pretty easily, and the lead comes out when you just push this button. So definitely recommend, go to Hobby Lobby, find some Pentel, whatever size you get, it doesn't really matter to me personally, but those are really nice. I also draw a lot with PaperMate. I actually got these mostly for like writing actually, because I like to write books too and stuff like that, and I would just use this for writing. However, I just like to use this one. Sometimes, again, I prefer my Pentel pencil, but these ones are very nice, and they're cheaper too. So if you're looking for a cheaper, something that comes in like a big package, you can get PaperMate, and they're really nice and efficient. Moving on to things that I actually outline with when it comes to my drawings, because I do like to do line art before I actually color anything in. It makes it look cleaner in my opinion. My favorite ones that I have are these Prisma Color inking pens. They're really good for, well, obviously inking. They come in like multiple sizes. I've lost a couple because I lost them before I actually got serious about art. Unfortunately, we all go through these phases, right? But Prisma Color, definitely recommended. Another one that I have is this Panda Fly one. These are also very nice. However, I think they're made more for actual calligraphy, as it says calligraphy. But I've used them for inking before, and they make like a nice bold line to it. So I occasionally do use these. Also, sometimes I use markers to draw it. I guess they're called My Color too. Guys, I'm gonna be honest, I never really paid attention to like brands before now, but these specific markers are really nice because they have thin side, and they have a thick side, and I love both sides. They're both very useful, and I use them in my drawings a lot because it can just give a colorful outline to your character, which is sometimes very nice. Moving on to coloring materials, I do love using alcohol markers, and for my alcohol markers I use Belleza or Belleza. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, but I just got this giant kit for Christmas. Let me tell you guys, these markers are so nice. Like, I can't believe I ever colored without these alcohol markers, and I'm just like super appreciating them. And they come in all kinds of variations and stuff, and it's nice and organized. And there's actually like a box underneath these so they don't like squish around, and it's not hard to close. Again, that's Belleza Supreme. Also, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that because I don't really know, but these are super duper nice for coloring, and I honestly don't think they were that expensive, especially if you get one of their smaller kits on Amazon or something. So be sure to line that up. Another thing my grandma bought me for Christmas is a Teotri art markers. Again, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing these right. These honestly are not quite as good, however they do have a finer tip. Well, first off, these ones, they do also have a finer tip. They have two-sided, like those markers I just showed you a couple minutes ago, except alcohol marker style. But these ones in here, the Teotri, they're actually like really, really thin. So I honestly haven't used these that much. There was a color I really wanted to use, and it like the cap was broken and smashed and stuff before I even opened it. So I'm not sure how these go because I don't use them that often. But as far as I'm aware, they're decently good. But I definitely prefer the Belleza over the Teotri. Okay, so as I mentioned before, I didn't really have a lot to work with early on in this year. I was working with Crayola for a long time until I decided to splurge on Fine Touch, which is another thing that I bought from Hobby Lobby. These are definitely a step up from Crayola colored pencils, but they're really not like the most fantastic things in the world, but they did work for me really well for a while, and it definitely came with a lot of colors, and they write pretty smoothly, so those are a suggestion for sure. However, as of recent, I've been finding myself using this giant Prisma Color box, and I've been really enjoying Prisma Color. Everybody always talks such a big game about Prisma Color. I never really got it, but guys, these things write smooth, and they're capable of shading and overlaying on top of alcohol markers really, really, really nicely, which is my preferred like base coloring method. So Prisma Color just complements my coloring style really well. Okay guys, so that's all I got. As I said before, you really don't need a bunch of fancy supplies. My main topic for this video that I really want to get in your head, Master Touch sketchbooks are super, super nice. Come in all shapes and sizes. I actually have another one right here. It's really big. If I wanted, this is where I do a lot of my concepts drawing. I have a size smaller than this, and then I obviously have my much smaller one that I classically draw in. But I seriously recommend this. I hope you've learned something, and I hope that you guys like and subscribe and share my video, and I will be back with more tutorials, art videos, speed draws, all that good stuff. So thanks for joining me, and I will see you next time. Bye!